Welcome on in to Newburgh, New York. We're here on tape delay. You're in the future, we're in the past. And it's the Stars taking on the Mid-Hudson Polar Bears who come into the weekend 17-9-1. Previous meeting between the Polar Bears and the Stars finished 7-0. The Polar Bears have a My Hockey rating in the mid-87s, which puts them 3.5 goals better than the Stars right now. Common opponents, the Polar Bears beat the Southwestchester Blackhawks 5-2 and 8-2. They lost to the Long Island Rebels 0-2. They beat the Long Island Edge 3-0. The Skyliners 8-0. They lost to the Atlantic City Sharks 1-2. And then they finished 2-1 against North Park over the season. Recent games show a win against the Capitals Academy Red Team 5-4. The New York City Cyclones, it was a win over them 5-0. And an 8-0 win over the New York Apple Corps. Stars come in on the back of a valiant effort yesterday, shorthanded against the Long Beach Lightning. They ended up losing 2-8 in that game. Just 12 skaters on the ice due to suspensions and injuries. Looks like they might only have 11 here today. And so another uphill climb, but you can't fault the Stars for their effort yesterday. They certainly did their best, given that they were down some skaters, and it's hard not to run out of gas eventually, but the Stars kept on churning yesterday. And a personal note, just a very happy birthday to the man who started it all, D-Biz, all the way back in the 5 boroughs. We're missing you here in Newburgh, but we're hoping you have a wonderful birthday. And so we're going to give you an extended look in at warm-ups here from Newburgh Ice Time Sports Complex. 3 minutes and 44 seconds on the warm-up clock. We'll be back with you once it all gets rolling here against the Mid-Hudson Polar Bears. This is Midnight Sports.
This broadcast is streamed and produced by Midnight Sports and is not affiliated with any hockey organization, club, or team. Midnight Sports is comprised of hockey parents who stream games for friends and family who cannot attend the games in person.
buzzer here at the Ice Time Sports Complex. Just a little last-minute strategy going on for the Stars in front of their net. Same for the Polar Bears. Polar Bears in their home whites. And there's some pretty good-looking sweaters there. Kind of a classic look in their cream blue and red. Stars in their road navy blues with orange trim. They'll be moving right to left on your television screen or radio dial in the first and third periods. This is a joint state and EJEPL game. It's going to be played under the state rules for both timing and scoring, which is to say if this one's tied at the end of 3 periods, there will be no overtime. It just concludes as a tie, and the points get split. But we'll just have to wait and see. 45 game minutes will tell the tale as to whether those procedures are even going to be necessary here in Newburgh, New York. It will be Luke Latito in the blue paint for the team from Coney Island here today. You're watching this one on tape delay, and we're so happy you've joined us. Fortunately, carrier restrictions prevented a live broadcast of this one. But once it's uploaded, it's all the same, which is to say, it's youth hockey for your viewing pleasure. And so 15 minutes put up on the board. And it's period number 1 here from Newburgh. Over the boards comes Russo, Fauci, and Bizarro as the forwards. It'll be Schaefer and O'Day as the defensive pair. Latito in the blue paint. We are ready to roll here. It's Russo at the dot, winning that forward. Polar Bears will take over. Polar Bears on the puck, working up in front of the scorer's booth. They can't get past Bizarro at the logo, jams it forward. Now the Polar Bears will come back in the other direction. Polar Bears all the way into the offensive zone. They'll drop it there and try to work it deeper. Polar Bears now near half wall up to the near point, firing in wide of the cage. It was a laser that's going to go all the way to the far side of the ice. It's chipped forward by the other defender from Mid-Hudson. Stars try to send it right back the other way. They do. It's Fauci on the puck at his own blue line, able to work it up to Bizarro. Jams that puck forward. It feathers, and it's Russo taking that puck in. It was a bouncing puck that was feathered up by Bizarro, and now it's the Stars trying to keep his own. Briscoe nearly was off to the races with Adamick there. It's the Polar Bears, though, coming right out of their zone. They'll jam that puck in just a bit deeper, and so it'll be Katra to retrieve. Just a minute gone in this one. 14:04 left to go in the first period. Getting back was O'Day. Sends that across for Katra, who works that puck up for Adamick. Adamick now in full stride, gains the line, dumps in. Chip and chase here for the Stars. It's the Polar Bears looking to collect behind their own net. Puck rolls to the far side of the ice. The Polar Bears able to break out of the zone, and now into the offensive zone they come. It's Mid-Hudson all the way in deep. They try to tuck it home. Looked like it was a Latito save there as the Polar Bears throw it in front. It will be the Stars able to get that puck up and out to the scorer's booth, but no farther as Mid-Hudson one-touch passing right back into the zone. It's the Polar Bears now at the near point, try to feather it farther. It was Gitman bodying his man. He gets the puck back from Schulman, and now Gitman off to the races. Pushed just wide, throws it across. That's kicked aside and sticked aside by the Polar Bears netminder. And so now it's a 2-on-2 in the other direction. Polar Bears will dump in. Latito able to flick that aside. And the Polar Bears keep it at the point. They throw in. Latito again gets the glove on it. And now it'll be Bizarro picking up and running with it all the way toward the offensive zone. It's Fauci on the forecheck at the far side of the ice. That's a bouncing puck kept in by Russo. Bizarro awaits in the slot. Russo tries to dig it off the end boards. He does. Throws it in front. It was Bizarro working it up to Schaefer in the slot, who throws it farther. It goes off a skate up into the rafters. Doesn't touch the ceiling, so we play on. It's now Russo on the puck in that far corner. Puck's chipped up. Fresh off the bench was a Polar Bears man, but it's Schaefer throwing that puck in. It bounces just to the side of the cage where Bizarro picks that puck up, cycles it just a bit deeper. Return pass from Russo, can't quite connect, and now it's the Polar Bears in the other direction through the neutral zone. Picking that pass off with Schaefer. He gains the line, dumps in. Stars can make a partial change if they want to. It's the Polar Bears picking it up in the near corner. Cycling that puck to the far side of the ice, nearly cut out by Briscoe, but now it's the Polar Bears streaking into the offensive end. They throw it toward the slot. O'Day was covering his man well after Schaefer had pushed his man wide. It's now the Stars trying to pick it up in the offensive zone, but here come the Polar Bears. They throw it in, and it's a skate. It was O'Day's skate that redirected it wide, and so the Polar Bears will have to reset as we tick under 12 minutes left to go here in the first. Polar Bears looking to set something up in the slot. Can't quite connect on the pass. They work it up to the blue line. They throw it in. It was blocked by Briscoe and went wide. Now O'Day fires on the puck. He's got Gitman out there with him. Polar Bears still have it in the slot. It was Latino kicking that shot out. And now it will be O'Day trying to pick up that puck far side of the ice. It comes in again, hits a Stars man, and so it's going to come all the way out of the zone. The Polar Bears will reset with speed. The Polar Bears behind their own net. They work it up on the near side of the ice. This one might go for an icing. It does. 11-13 left to go here in the first period. Offensive zone draw upcoming for the Stars. Well, shots 2-4 right now in favor of the Polar Bears. A pretty even game here, though, in the first 3 minutes and 47 seconds. And it will be Russo with Pizarro to his left and Fauci to his right. Russo, clean win, back to Schulman. Schulman to Pizarro, all the way across, finds Kotchery, shoots in. That was a screen shot in. A nice save in the end by the Polar Bears as that puck was dropping in on target, and the Polar Bears netminder able to get in front of it. Good positioning on the screen, and so it's a face-off on the far side of the ice. It's Russo winning that back cleanly to Kotcher. Kotcher across for Schulman, tries the shot. It gets rejected. Kotcher now tries, dumps it in just a bit deeper. Fauci comes away with it. Far side of the ice. It's Fauci over toward Russo. Russo works that puck deeper. He's got two Polar Bears all over him, but it's now Fauci trying to help out behind the net. Rolling puck up to the near half wall, dumped in by Schulman toward Pizarro. Looks toward the slot. Pizarro gets it back, finds Kotcher at the blue line. That puck gets rejected once and twice, and then it was a wonderful save there. Not once but twice by the Polar Bears netminder. Puck is just pinballing around in the offensive zone. It got played by a high stick, and so the Stars had to back off. Here come the Polar Bears all the way into the offensive zone. Kotcher there first, works it over toward Schulman. Schulman on the puck, near side of the ice in the defensive zone. Schulman able to bat that up and out. Polar Bears reset across the ice. It's Adamek picking a pass off, and it's Russo blowing a tire, but able to work that puck back to Pizarro. Pizarro back toward Kotcher. Polar Bears all over on the forecheck here, and the Stars have to try and reverse. They do to the far side of the ice. Kotcher works that puck off the glass and out. Now it's the Polar Bears trying to reset once more in front of the Stars bench. Batted farther there by Kotcher, who can complete the change. Polar Bears to take over in their own end. This is a high-flying game so far, just 5 minutes in on a Sunday morning. We're so happy you've joined us right here on Midnight Sports. We'll get a stoppage in play with 9:39 left to go here in the first. Looks like the Stars had gone just a bit offside, and so it'll be a face-off right in front of the camera well here in Newburgh, New York. Well, we hope you're nice and warm on your couch at home. Polar Bears aptly named, as you can see your breath when you talk in here. It's a beautiful sheet of ice, but it's kept very cold by the ambient temperature in the arena. It's the Stars trying to get that puck up and out. Kept in at the blue line once more by Mid-Hudson. O'Day and Gitman will turn. Rolling puck all the way over toward Schaefer. Was able to jam up his man far side of the ice, and now it'll be O'Day retrieving the puck, working it up toward Briscoe. Briscoe for support, tries to dig it off. It gets caught in a couple of skates, though, and so the puck gets tucked deeper by the Polar Bears. It's now a bouncing puck far side of the ice where Schaefer had come in for support, came nearly to the side of the cage. Too many skates and sticks in the way, and it's Gitman with some impressive stick work. He's able to feather that puck up and out. Giving chase now is Adamek, icing already waved. It's Adamek on the forecheck. Polar Bears get back in numbers, and they'll retrieve in their own end, up to their own blue line, but not past Russo at first. Russo keeps the zone, and the Polar Bears will take over, though, and work it on the far side of the ice as far as Kotcher fires that into the Polar Bears bench. And so with 8:35 left to go here in the first, it should be a face-off at center ice. Well, no, they are gonna take it at center ice. All right. The other linesman fooled the broadcast booth up here as to where the drop was going to be, but no matter. It's the Stars winning that, gaining the line and dumping on in, and so Pizarro gives chase on the forecheck. It's Russo and Schulman combining to keep the zone near side of the ice. Polar Bears will try and track back. They work it over toward the weak side of the ice. Does Mid-Hudson as Fauci bodies his man there. Two Polar Bears in on the puck. Matthew Fauci, tenacious though, forces a pass up to Kocher, who throws it on net. And it's saved nicely by the Polar Bears, who will come back in the other direction. It's the Polar Bears in the offensive zone. Drop pass at the top of the far circle. It's picked off by O'Day, who sends it up to the blue line. That bouncing puck comes on out, and we get a stoppage in play for offsides with 7:56 left to go here in the first. Well, folks, Stars back in action next weekend. Those broadcasts should be live. It's a game against the Long Island Edge on Saturday from Abe Stark, 3:45 p.m. should be the start time. And then on Sunday, taking on some old friends at the New York City Skyliners at World Ice Arena. And that game is at 7:30 p.m., I believe. And so Midnight Sports should have coverage of both games for you. But first, there's a whole lot of youth hockey in the meantime on a Sunday in the Hudson Valley, and it's Russo skating that up and out of the zone. He beats not 1, 2, but 3 men to gain the line, dump on in, on net, and so it'll be the Stars able to make a change and try to hold the zone. O'Day sends that across. It's sticked up into the netting, and what was a nice save there by the Polar Bears, and the Stars have flipped the script a little here. They've been perimeter shots, but the Stars starting to pepper the Polar Bears net right now with 7:17 left to go in the first. Shots 7-5 in the Stars' favor. Still goose eggs on the scoreboard as Gitman aligns himself at the dot, works it over toward Adamick, who tries to spin it toward the slot. The Polar Bears, though, get 2 sticks in the way, and now they're away with it. They fire it in on Latito, who gets across and makes 2 beautiful saves there. It was a laser from the high slot. Latito was able to glove it down, and that bouncing puck came in twice on him again. He dives across, no whistle yet, as his glove is off, and we'll see what happened here as we do eventually get the whistle, but it was 4 shots there by the Polar Bears in the sequence. Latito had his glove look like taken off, or maybe the blocker, hard to tell from this angle, but he lost the equipment and the stick on the sequence, and the net came off, and so the whistle blew with 6:51 left to go here in the first. Well, commentators curse about flipping the script on shots on goal. It was a flurry there from the Polar Bears. And now shots in their favor, 9-7, as you can see on your screen. Of course, shots on goal, a bit of an art, not a science, as we discussed yesterday. Really, it's up to the scorekeeper to count them, but we'll do our best to count them in the booth as best as possible. It's Briscoe blocking a shot, picking up the puck, gaining the line, and dumping in. Gets a cheer from the bench for the shot block as the Polar Bears work it to the far side of the ice, and now they'll work it up and out. Not past Schaefer, though. He's able to pick that puck up in the neutral zone and dump in once more. Stars playing a heavy chip and chase game right now, trying to be aggressive on the forecheck once that puck is in the offensive zone. Schaefer keeps the zone here, tries to send it just a little farther, but here come the Polar Bears. It's a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Bouncing puck, though, intercepted by O'Day. Quickly up toward Adamick. Adamick into the zone. He takes a hit far side of the ice. He's able to dump in, and now it's Bizarro pushing his man off the puck and picking it up, trying to send it over toward Russo, who was trailing in the slot. Instead, it'll be the Polar Bears dumping that into the offensive end. Shulman back to retrieve it. Shulman for Kocher, back to Shulman. Shulman on the puck. He works that up toward Fauci, who chips it past a man at the point. Polar Bears to pick it up once again. Polar Bears on the puck. They try to send it past Russo. They can't. Russo into the offensive end. He finds some open ice to dump it into as the Stars thought about completing a change there. Instead, it will be the Polar Bears in the other direction. It's now a puck that gets dumped all the way in. Should go for an icing. It does with 5:31 left to go in the first. Stars with just 11 skaters out there, so they're trying to be judicious on the line changes. Certainly, you want to keep the legs fresh, but when you basically just have one line to change into another, you can't make changes all the time, and that's exactly what Coach Carney is doing, keeping an eye on the freshness of the legs out there and making a change when necessary. This will be Russo winning it forward toward Fauci, who racks it farther. Polar Bears to try to take over in that far corner. They do. Mid-Hudson comes away with it. They throw it towards center ice. 3-on-2 developing here for the Polar Bears all the way in. to the offensive zone. Pushed around the net by Schulman, deputizing as a defender out there. It's Russo jamming it up toward Fauci, who flicks that puck up to the blue line. It's chopped out of the air, though, by the Polar Bears very nicely. They stalk in, they shoot, they score. Well, it was an impressive play there by the Polar Bears. They were able to chop it out of midair, keep the puck at the blue line, stalk into the slot, and pick a top corner from the mid slot. And so, just like that, with 5:03 left to go in the first, all of a sudden it's the Polar Bears 1, Stars nothing. Well, ensuing faceoff sees Gitman at the logo. Has to win it over toward Briscoe. It's a bouncing puck that comes up toward O'Day, back to Briscoe. Polar Bears look to take over, but only so far as Gitman, who dumps in once more. Polar Bears retrieve. They send it up and out of the zone. This goes off a skate, icing waved, and so Schaefer back to pick that puck up. He tries to work it over toward Briscoe, near side of the ice. Polar Bears work it deeper instead. In the slot, all alone. They shoot, and it's Latito. What a save there. Oh, man. That was a 5-bell save. We'll take a look at it real quick here. But it was Latito all alone with the puck there in the bottom of the slot. And the shooter could not get past the glove of Luke Latito. We're live now as that shot comes in. And Latito down quickly here, so we'll just take a moment as he looks to be just shaken up for a second. That shot came in. Not sure he saw it the whole time. And so just a little bit of a delay here, as Latito looked to have taken one off the mask. And so just an equipment delay, we hope that there's not any injury there. Looked like perhaps it had hit the dangler or some such thing. He takes a look at it, looks to be fine, throws the helmet right back on. You love to see it. Certainly the health of all players on the ice, the most important thing here. Score is just secondary in these games. In any event, it is the Polar Bears working that puck deeper into the zone. And the puck racked around toward Briscoe, near side of the ice. He looks to turn with it. Polar Bears all over him. And it's O'Day and Gitman now trying to take the puck out of the near corner. Briscoe fires back in. Rolling puck sent deeper into the zone. It was a good keep initially by the Polar Bears. Schaefer looks to escape with it. Mid-Hudson throws that toward the side of the cage. It's now O'Day firing that up and out of the zone. Polar Bears take over once more. They send it all the way across. It's chipped up into the Stars bench, though, off the stick of Gitman to interrupt any zone break-in. 3:58 left to go here in the first. Should be a face-off just in front of the Stars bench. This will be Russo to take. Pizarro to his left, Fauci to his right. It'll be Kocher and Schulman, both deputizing as defenders today. And that puck, one back toward Kocher. Kocher picks it up there and looks to work it over toward Schulman. It rolls off a stick, comes through the blue paint, settled by Schulman, and sent up to the point. But it's Fauci able to bat that puck up and out and now give chase. Matthew Fauci on the forecheck. 3 Polar Bears back in their own zone. Fauci still chasing the puck there. Forces a pass over toward Pizarro all alone as Russo shot in and saved nicely by the Polar Bears netminder. A couple of point-blank saves from both netminders now in this game as the Polar Bears look to stalk forward. Polar Bears on the puck all the way in deep to the far side of the ice. They shoot, they score. Well, just like that, the Polar Bears able to pull the trigger with 3:18 left to go in the first and turn this into a 2-goal hockey game. And so the Stars will need to find a way back into this one. A lot of time left. 33 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in this game. And it'll be the Stars at the ensuing faceoff here. Russo to take. Puck one forward there by Russo. Pizarro had tried to fire in on it. Instead, it'll be Fauci on the forecheck far side. Russo keeps the zone momentarily. Polar Bears able to get that up to the neutral zone as the Stars try to dump in once more. Unable to do so because the Polar Bears are coming back in the other direction. Near side of the ice. Polar Bears send it across toward the slot. It'll be Russo coming away with it. Russo on the puck through the neutral zone. Long reach of Russo. Enters the offensive zone. He takes a hit from a couple of Polar Bears. It'll be Pizarro trying to take the puck just a bit deeper. It's Adamek on the forecheck. Puck bounces off Kocher. It's a good zone keep in the end. Not once, but twice. Far side of the ice. Polar Bears will try the near side of the ice instead. Mid-Hudson coming up to their own blue line now. They send it across, nearly picked off by Gitman. He's able to rack it deeper in the zone at the very least. Escapes a big hit on that far side of the ice. It's Mid-Hudson once more at their own end boards, trying to work it around to the near side. O'Day there is able to just fire it in a little deeper. And Gitman receives. Gitman over for Briscoe. Briscoe dances with the puck there. Tries to work it to the side of the net. Nearly does, but the Polar Bears, good defensive work. They send it up and out of the zone. 2:07 left to go, even though we didn't start the clock. We'll get that right for you in just a moment. Here, as we get a stoppage in play, we'll let that clock tick on down. 2:01 left to go here in the first after a save by the Polar Bears. Well, sometimes in cold rinks, these buttons freeze just a little bit, and they don't always start when we try to start them up here in the booth. The face-off won there by the Polar Bears. They'll take it to the far side of the ice and then try to reverse around. Puck sits at the near half wall. Mid-Hudson looks to escape with it. They bring it up strong side of the ice, and now it's Mid-Hudson into the offensive end. They send it across. It was Latito with a big kick save there, because if he had saved it softly, that puck would have ended up on the stick of the trailing Polar Bear forward. Instead, it's the Stars going back to their own end to retrieve. O'Day and Schaefer back. They combine to get that puck to the far side of the ice. Stars look to move it to that far point. Fired in once more, wide of the cage. Polar Bears now effectively working a good screen in front, but it's Bizarro who had turned back and worked it up to Fauci. Fauci gets it out of the zone. Polar Bears dump in once more. Turning is O'Day to pick up that puck at the end board. 70 seconds left to go here in the first period as O'Day able to keep possession of the puck in the near corner and then fire that up toward Bizarro. Bizarro retrieves in stride. Fauci able to get that puck past the blue line. Here comes Mid-Hudson once more. Long reach of Alec O'Day. Interrupts the zone break-in. He picks up that puck and chips it farther. 47 seconds left to go as Russo goes toward the end boards to try and send it out front. Stars nearly had it there. Instead, they'll have to cycle deeper in the zone. Rolling puck up toward Fauci. Polar Bears there. Two Stars connect on a hit, but the Polar Bears able to emerge with the puck. Polar Bears all the way into the offensive end now, into the slot. One-timer doesn't connect, and the Polar Bears have to reset once more. Polar Bears on the puck. They try to send that puck in, and ends up toward the side of the cage and then the end boards. It's the Polar Bears with 17 seconds left to go here in the first, working that puck all the way up toward Fauci, who's able to get it to the blue line, but no farther. Polar Bears will dump in once more. O'Day on the puck now at the end boards. Just 6 seconds left to go in the first as the Stars look to jam this puck up. Russo instead will fire it all the way down. It goes for an icing, but the buzzer goes at the same time. So after one, it's the Mid-Hudson Polar Bears 2, the New York Stars nothing. Stick around. We're going to put 15 minutes on the board. Do it all over again in a moment. This is Midnight Sports. We did it. 15 on the board. Polar Bears up 2-0. It's the period of the long change here from Newburgh. And the Stars looking for a way back into this one. It'll be Russo at the dot. He's got Fauci to his right. Pizarro to his left, one back toward Schulman. Schulman across for Coronati. Coronati works that puck on up, and it will be Pizarro dumping on in. It's now the Stars trying to get that puck deeper in the zone, but instead it'll be the Polar Bears in a 2-on-1 the other direction. They shoot after an offside. Looks like there's just going to be a little discussion between the players, the officials already telling the Polar Bears player to head off to the penalty box, it looks like, for the shot after the whistle. And so the Stars should be going to the man advantage here for the shot by the Polar Bears after the whistle. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call typically. And so, with 14:44 left to go in the second, Stars down 2, about to be up a man for 2 unless they score, or there's more paperwork to be done in the intervening time. Well, this is going to be a face-off on the near side of the ice. It's Russo up toward Coronati. Coronati on the puck. Russo took a jab after that face-off, able to reset his helmet. But it's the Polar Bears coming in the other direction after Russo was stunned just a little bit on the draw. Hadn't been able to get into position, and it's the Polar Bears offside here with 14:29 left to go in the second period. Should be a face-off right in front of the camera well here. See if we can get a nice close look for you there. It's one over toward the side where Coronati able to retrieve and sends it over toward Schulman. Schulman up the ice. It's the Polar Bears trying to cut out the zone entry, but the bouncing puck finds Russo. Russo carries in just a bit deeper. The Stars able to keep the zone through Schulman. Gitman and Schulman on that far side of the ice. They work it down toward Kotcher. Kotcher on up, throws that across. Did Gitman. And now he'll just have to tuck it deeper in the zone. 1:19 left to go on the man advantage here as the Stars look to settle the puck down and open up some shooting lanes. Puck worked on down and thrown in. That one's gloved and frozen by the Polar Bears with 13:53 left to go here in the second. It'll be an offensive zone draw for the Stars. Nothing more just yet with 1:10 left to go on the man advantage. And it'll be Fauci at the far dot to take this draw. Pizarro and Adamick, Schaefer and O'Day round out the 5 skaters on the ice for the team from Coney Island. Back to O'Day, the puck goes. It was a clean win by Fauci. Pizarro across the slot, Schaefer to pinch in, keep the zone, throws that in toward the blue paint. The Polar Bears couldn't get a mid on it, and so it's going to be Pizarro to pick up that puck and send it back to O'Day. O'Day can step into this one if he wants. Now the shooting lane's gone. He was looking for the pass the whole time to try and open up the netminder anyway. It was a smart play there by O'Day, but the shot was not coming, and so it's O'Day working that puck up through the neutral zone. The Polar Bears take over once more. Pizarro on the forecheck. That drop pass did work for Mid-Hudson. They'll gain the line and dump in. 30 seconds left to go on the man advantage here for the Stars in Newburgh. It's Adamick working that puck up past the blue line. Worked up toward Fauci, and then the back check takes it off his stick. O'Day able to stop the break-in at the blue line, and Fauci has it back. Sends it back to Pizarro. Pizarro across for Adamick. Adamick looks to set up a shot. It goes off the side of the cage there as the puck sits at the end boards where Fauci picks it up. It's Fauci on the puck. He gets in tight, throws it across. He was looking for a touch home from Pizarro. Just a little too much sauce on the saucer pass. It's 5-on-5 hockey now as the Polar Bears break back onto the ice. Schaefer had pitched in to keep the zone. It's thrown, though. The puck is all the way across the ice, and the Polar Bears emerge with it. It's a 1-on-2 for Mid-Hudson. Long reach. They're able to separate a few men from the puck, and we'll get a call here, perhaps for the hit. We'll see who's going to go to the box for the Stars. 12:24 left to go in the second. Looks like it might be a call there on Fauci. It is. And there's going to be a head contact call, so it will be a 2-10 called, it looks like. We'll see if anyone ends up in the box here for the Stars to join Fauci on the 2-10. Well, we'll just see what the officials do here, as it'll be Bizarro going over to serve the 2 minutes of the 2 and 10. Fauci out for 10 minutes in this game, so we'll keep an eye on the Stars bench here. Looked like the polar bear man was falling during the hit, so just an unfortunate set of circumstances. Most importantly, the Mid-Hudson player seems to be just fine on the bench. But with the Stars, a thin bench as it is, losing a player for 10 minutes could be a game development here, and so we'll keep our eye on it. It's the Polar Bears now working that puck deeper into the zone. And so a hard luck call there on the Stars. In any event, it's the Polar Bears trying the one-timer from the near side of the ice, unable to connect, and so they will take back over at the near half wall. It's the Polar Bears working up to the near point all the way across for the slapper that goes well wide. And Mid-Hudson will have to reset again on the near side of the ice. Near half wall, they work it deeper to the near corner. Polar Bears on the puck still all the way around. That puck comes up to the top of the far circle. It was a switch play there from Mid-Hudson, but it couldn't connect. And so with 1:17 left to go on the man advantage, Mid-Hudson has to reset once more. Polar Bears try to work that puck deeper. They throw it to the side of the cage, and then in front, Latito kicks the big leg pad out, and it will be the Polar Bears looking to pick up once more. Polar Bears circle at the circle all the way up to the near point. Across it goes to the far half wall. Polar Bears now throw that across. It hits a skate in front, never reaches the goal mouth, but it's a zone keep by Mid-Hudson. They stalk in once more. This shot goes wanting, just a bit wide. Near side of the ice, puck dumped in a bit deeper. It's thrown up to the point, but off a body, and Schulman back to try and retrieve. 41 seconds left to go on the man advantage as the Polar Bears stalk in once more. That puck goes toward the end boards off a deflection. Polar Bears looking to reset. Long shift here by the Stars penalty killers as that puck does eventually roll out of the zone, but because it's the period of the long change, Stars can't make a personnel change, even though they got the puck out of the zone. Here comes Mid-Hudson in. It was Latito with a big save. Follow-up shot goes wide. Mid-Hudson really warming to the task here with 15 seconds left to go on the man advantage. The Polar Bears try to get that up to the near point. They do. Slapper comes in, go off a body toward the end boards, thrown into the slot, but it's going to be Russo to pick up. Russo's going to skate this up to the red line, and he gets the puck to the offensive blue line, and then he's able to dump on in. So the Stars have killed off that penalty. That happened in their defensive zone. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. It's Mid-Hudson all the way into the offensive end side of the cage. They shoot in high of the cage. Comes right back off the glass. And the Polar Bears look to stalk in once more in the slot. They can't get it much farther. It was good back checking by Dominic Bizarro. Puck rolls to Gitman, who works it up toward Kocher. Kocher flicks that past the point man, and now it's Bizarro giving chase. Under 10 minutes left to play here in the second. Mid-Hudson will retrieve and work that puck to the far side of the ice. In the neutral zone come the Polar Bears with speed into the offensive zone. The Polar Bears nearly around O'Day, but the long reach able to separate his man from the puck. And then he gets some support on that far side of the ice. It's Kocher flicking that puck up past the defensive blue line. Polar Bears stop it there in front of their bench, now in front of the scorer's booth. It's the Stars trying to work that puck farther. It rolls to O'Day, who tracks back to his own zone to buy some time and space and then work it up toward Gitman. He touches it farther. Polar Bears to take over once again at their own blue line. Mid-Hudson works that puck up through center ice, and they'll dump in, but it's O'Day getting to it first, taking it around his net, trying to fire it farther there. Instead, the Polar Bears will reverse. It's Schaefer on the puck, near side, and he works it off that near half wall toward his own slot, throws it up to the blue line, gets it out of the zone. Mid-Hudson resets. Mid-Hudson all the way into the offensive zone there. Drop pass can't connect as Briscoe did some good back checking, and he was able to carry that puck out of the zone. Mid-Hudson trying to work the puck farther in the neutral zone now. They gain the line, dump on in. Turning is Schaefer behind Latito to pick up the puck. Schaefer on up toward Kocher. Kocher sends it farther. This one might go all the way down for an icing. It does. With 8:38 left to go in the second. Time enough to catch your breath here on the Stars icing. This faceoff will come to Latito's right, and a reminder that the Stars are back in action next weekend. We believe the times are 3:45 on Saturday against the Long Island Edge and 7:30 p.m. on Sunday out at World Ice against the New York City Skyliners. We'll hope you'll join us then. And make sure to follow the social media channels of Midnight Sports and the New York Stars to make sure you have an accurate game time for those games. It's the Polar Bears firing in. It was one shot block, then two. First by Adamek and then Russo. Russo carries that puck behind his own net, bats it out of the air, tracks toward his slot now. He's skated around two players to get that puck into the neutral zone, where the Polar Bears will come back in the other direction. It's a puck that goes deep into the Stars zone. 8:10 left to play in this second period, nearly halfway through this game, as three Stars converge to get that puck out of the near corner. Puck sits in the near corner, and the Stars look to work it up to the near point. They do. Mid-Hudson has it there. They dump it in just a bit deeper. It's the Polar Bears tracking across the blue line to the far circle. A couple of sticks in the way. Slapper doesn't quite connect. Stars able to retrieve. It's the Stars skating that up and out of their defensive zone. Coronati takes a hit, continues on, gets that puck deep, tries to send it to the far side of the ice off the curved wall. Polar Bears play that puck. Looked like it with a high stick, but there was no high stick called. And so onward we go here as Mid-Hudson had tracked into the slot. It'll be Bizarro avoiding a hit, working that deeper for Coronati. Coronati in the defensive zone around to Adamek. Adamek carries that puck up on the near half wall, and it's now Schulman reaching to try and take the puck off his man. Polar Bears have the puck, and they're able to shoot and score in the low slot. Well, just like that, the Polar Bears able to increase their lead to 3. It was a bit of a broken play as the puck had come out of the near corner, and the Stars had kept them to the edge, but once that puck hit a stanchion and rolled out front, Polar Bears able to circle with it in the low slot and fire it home. And so, just like that, with 7:15 left to go in the second, it's a 3-goal lead for Mid-Hudson. Polar Bears to pick that puck up. They work it back to their blue line and now up into the offensive end. Bouncing puck. Latito able to just throw the glove in front of and freeze for the Stars. And so 7:06 left to go in this second period. Defensive zone draw for the team from Coney Island. That puck's dropped one backward there by, it was Gitman, and then thrown on net by the Polar Bears, and they'll track it down on the far side of the ice. Polar Bears keeping the zone momentarily. Briscoe in on the puck, and it was sent up and out of the zone by the Stars. Mid-Hudson will have to try to reset once more. It's O'Day and Schaefer getting back to try and get that puck out of the slot. They do. O'Day bodies his man in the near corner. Mid-Hudson back on the puck in that near corner. Try to cycle it deeper. Alec O'Day in the way there. He's going to body his man at the end boards. The Polar Bears come away with it toward the side of the cage. Mid-Hudson drop pass doesn't connect because Briscoe was able to work it up toward the blue line where Kocher takes over. It's Kocher on the puck. He gains the line, flicks in, and gives chase. Kocher on the puck, and it'll be the Polar Bears reversing with 6:15 left to go here in the second. Polar Bears on a quick up. It's touched, and so icing already waved here as O'Day gets back. O'Day tries to cut out the trailer. It was Latito with a face mask save. And now it's the Polar Bears trying to reset. It was a big-time save as it was a pass from below the end line to the mid-slot. And Latito able to get the face in the way on it. And all saves are good saves, and that one was a good save. The Polar Bears stalking in all the way toward the mid-slot. It was Latito once again rejecting that shot. And now it's the Polar Bears who have to track all the way back to their blue line. Quick up. Connects for Mid-Hudson, but O'Day in the way on the zone break-in. And so the Polar Bears will try the near side of the ice. It was Schaefer who was able to pick that pass off. He tries to work it up softly toward Adamek. It's batted out of the offensive zone. Stars offensive zone, that is. And so Mid-Hudson comes in. Latito able to get the nub of the stick on that one. Looking top corner were the Polar Bears, and it's a save all the same. Stars now break into the offensive zone. Adamek carries it farther, and the Polar Bears send it right back out once more. And so back goes Alec O'Day to pick it up behind his netminder. O'Day fires it off the boards. Here comes Mid-Hudson, though. They come in. Latito able to get in front of it. He's way out of the blue paint is Luke Latito, and he makes the save there. And so the Stars live to fight another day on that one. Adamek carries it up and out of the zone. He was looking for Russo across the ice and hit a shin guard. And so the Polar Bears look to break back in the other direction. Mid-Hudson will have to cycle back to their own zone forward as we're under 5 minutes left to play here in the second. Stars making a change. It was Bizarro and Gitman combining there on the hit. Schulman now back to his own end to try and pick up this puck. He does, works it off the near half wall for Adamek. Adamek fires that up and out of the zone. And we do eventually get an offside on Mid-Hudson. And so, with 4:20 left to go here in the second, it'll be a face-off just outside the Stars zone. It's Adamick, Gitman. See who the fifth skater is for the Stars. Briscoe will come on out. Coronati and Schulman as the defenders. One forward by Gitman, but without possession. Now Adamick able to chop that out of the air. He's gained the line, tries to flick it farther there. And Gitman on the forecheck, nearly picked a pass. Instead, it will be Mid-Hudson in the other direction. Toward the slot on the backhand are the Polar Bears. They fire it in. Snapping down the blocker was Latito. And so Mid-Hudson will have to reset far side of the ice. It's the Polar Bears on the puck, working that just a bit deeper into the zone. And now Briscoe able to retrieve that puck and send it up and out. Mid-Hudson will reset once more. Under 4 minutes left to go here in the second. Mid-Hudson trying to work that puck deeper. A little bit of hitting in the neutral zone. Sees Gitman come away with it. He's got Adamick through the slot. Gitman throws that on net. But instead, it will be Mid-Hudson trying to collect on that far side of the ice. Briscoe had done well to jam up any zone breakout. And now Mid-Hudson tries and sends it out, but it was Schaefer who threw one in, and Mid-Hudson throws it instead to the near side of the ice. Coronati bodies his man there, loses his skates after the puck gets slapped at, and so Mid-Hudson able to get that puck to the far side, but not out once more. It's now Mid-Hudson touching up the puck. Looks like it's going to be Mid-Hudson, though, to the box for a slash. Not sure if it was the stick work on Coronati or if, in fact, it was a slash at a different point. But with 3:06 left to go in this second period, it's the Stars to the power play. Down 3, but up a man for the next 2. Should be a far circle drop. And it'll be Coronati, Schulman, Russo, Kocher, and Gitman as the 5 skaters on power play unit. Numero uno. It's Russo winning that deeper in the corner, but the Polar Bears will fire that up and out. So back goes Coronati to send it back up to Kocher in the neutral zone. Kocher on the puck, sends it all the way across where he finds Gitman, who works that farther. Kocher to retrieve on the backhand, couldn't pull the trigger, but he's got it back, works it up toward Schulman. Schulman works that puck to the far side, far half wall, and now it'll be Russo to retrieve at the end boards. Tries to throw it in front. Russo gets it back, curling with it, throws it up to the near point here, but the puck's going to leave the zone, and so Schulman flips it right back to Coronati in the neutral zone. He's going to dump on it. He takes a big hit there after releasing the puck. Some Stars fans in the crowd thought it was a bit late, but the officials on the ice did not, and onward we play. 1:12 left to go in the second period. This will be a cycled puck from Gitman toward Kocher up to Schulman at the point. Bouncing puck retrieved by the Polar Bears, but not yet with full possession, and now it's Kocher turning with it. Kocher on over toward Gitman. Gitman up to Schulman. Stars can make a change here. 52 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Out comes O'Day. Polar Bears will come away with it. It's the Polar Bears all the way into the offensive end. Polar Bears there, bodied by O'Day. Shot comes in, but it's saved by Latito. And so now it's Schulman coming back in the other direction. He gains the line, throws that in. And the Polar Bears netminder trying to buy an icing on that one, but Schulman had gained the line in the eyes of the official. It's O'Day able to glove that puck down, but the Polar Bears will come in the other direction. It's a big hit there on Schaefer in the slot, but he was able to jam up his man, and so the soft shot saved easily by Latito with 20 seconds left to go on the Stars man advantage. 1:26 left to go here in the second period. It will be a near circle drop as Stars trying to make a late change there in the eyes of the officials, and so Briscoe will stay out. Housey had come out to try and take his place. Instead, it's the Polar Bears jamming it forward. O'Day to retrieve, and now O'Day on the puck in the far defensive corner. Will think about reversing. Carries it behind his own net. O'Day stalks out with it. Just 7 seconds left to go in the man advantage. The Polar Bears happy to see the Stars man advantage expire in their own zone. That pass doesn't connect. It's shot, and it looks like it's saved by Latito. How about that save? It was a laser from the slot, and Latito able to make the save there with 1:04 remain to go here in the second. Now the Stars trying to win that faceoff forward. Fired in off a shin guard. Goes wide. Rolling puck toward the circle. Not deeper just yet. Under 60 left to play here. I promise, from Newburgh in the second period. It's a shot that goes wanting. 46 seconds left to go now in this second period as O'Day goes to retrieve at the end boards. Puck sits there and then bodied by two Newburgh men as Mid-Hudson looks to come away with it. It's thrown deeper in the zone. Polar Bears circling with it now. They work it deeper to the end boards, looking for one last opportunity in this second to get a shot on goal. It's Newburgh pushed wide by Fauci and Schaefer. Bouncing puck finds a Polar Bears man, and now it's O'Day in for support. He sends it to the near side of the ice. Adamick circles back for it there. He bodies a man. Schaefer back to retrieve at the end boards. Polar Bears there as well. They blow it higher. Puck comes in front. It's chopped off the side of the net. Polar Bears to retrieve. Just 5 seconds left to go here as Mid-Hudson looks to get a shot off. Goes to the far side of the ice. There goes the buzzer. And so it's a shot on goal, but nothing more. And we'll put 15 minutes on the board. Do this all over one more time here from Newburgh, New York. This is Midnight Sports. All right, 15 more put up on the board. It's the Polar Bears 3, the Stars nothing. Stars still very much in this game. Polar Bears right now from the booth doubling up the Stars shot count. But the Stars with a couple of premium chances, and they'll look for a few more here in the final frame from Newburgh. This will be Russo at the logo. He's got Pizarro to his left, Kocher to his right. Puck one toward Kocher, feathered up across the logo, but here come the Polar Bears. They'll tap in and give chase. It's the Polar Bears throwing that off the netting on a deflected shot. It was Schulman who was able to get his stick in the way. With 14:50 left to go here in this game, it's going to be a defensive zone draw for Mid-Hudson. This will be Russo at the dot. Russo still with Pizarro to his left. We'll see. The Stars just backed out of the circle, as are the Polar Bears. Russo wins that over to the half wall on the defensive draw. It's Latito with a save as the Polar Bears look to collect. And now Mid-Hudson tries to work that puck farther in the slot. It's kicked aside once more by Latito. Here comes Mid-Hudson on the near side of the ice. They try to work it deeper in the zone. They throw it all the way across. A couple of sticks get in the way of that one. And Mid-Hudson drops it on a cycle deeper in the zone. It's now Pizarro trying to take the puck off his man. Mid-Hudson racks it to the far side of the ice. Getting in the way there is Schulman, and he works it up toward Russo. A couple of sticks in the way for him, but Kocher and Russo get it up to the blue line no farther as Mid-Hudson back on the puck. They'll dump in once more. Bouncing puck's going to find Pizarro, who works it up toward the point and then chips it past a man. And the Stars relieve just a little bit of the pressure in the defensive end. Couple of players converge right in front of the camera well there. And this is going to be the Polar Bears on the far side of the ice, trying to get that puck up and out of their defensive zone. Puck sits in that offensive zone for the Stars. They try to work it to get a shooting lane. It's O'Day who just has to flick it deeper into the zone. Chopped out of the air by the Stars all the way across. One-timer can't connect as it was sticked aside by the Mid-Hudson netminder. It's now Schaefer throwing that puck in. Takes a deflection off a skate and a stick. Goes high over the cage, and now it's O'Day pinching in to keep the zone. Gitman covers for him as O'Day stalks behind the net. Tries to throw it in front. He's got it back. O'Day still on the puck. Works it to the far side of the ice. O'Day turning with it. Shooting in, and that one's frozen nicely by the Mid-Hudson netminder. And so with 13:08 left to go here in this game, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Stars. Well, this will be Coronati and Schulman on as the defenders for the Stars. Gitman to take this draw, far side of the ice. Briscoe and Fauci out there with him. Wins it over toward Fauci, who touches it back toward Schulman. A little traffic in front. That one's going to be sticked aside by the Mid-Hudson netminder. Briscoe keeps the zone, dumps it in deeper, takes a hit. It's Gitman's side of the cage. That one's covered up by the Mid-Hudson netminder. And so, just a shot on goal there for the Stars. Nothing more just yet. 12:55 left to go here in the third. This will be Gitman again on the draw. Coronati and Schulman behind. Fauci and Adamick in the slot. Puck's dropped. Gitman sends that puck forward. It's now Fauci on the forecheck. Bodies his man at the end boards, but it will be Mid-Hudson sending it up to the point. That one slapped up into the netting on a deflection from Sammy Schulman. We'll do it all over again. From the far side of the ice, offensive zone here for the Stars. This is Gitman to take. Wins it toward the slot. Mid-Hudson will come away with it. They touch it past a man at the blue line with speed into the offensive end. Fauci's back on defensive duties there, and he's able to push that puck toward the end boards. Mid-Hudson throws it deeper into the zone. 12.5 left to go here in this game. Mid-Hudson stalks all the way across on the forehand. Latito able to make a save there, and so the Polar Bears have to reset once more. The Polar Bears throwing that in on a backhand. It's slapped wide by Coronati. Now Mid-Hudson can't get past Adamick, who works that puck up to the blue line, but not out in the eyes of the officials. And so it's Fauci able to retrieve that puck and send it on up and out. Excuse me, that was Gitman who was able to send that puck down to the offensive end, but it was an icing on him. And so Stars will have a defensive zone draw there as David Gitman relieves a little bit of the defensive zone pressure and allows the Stars to make a change. And so it will be Russo to take this drop. Zorro near side of the ice. Kocher in the slot. Schaefer and O'Day as the defenders. Puck sent in, and Latito with a quick save. And so we'll do it all over again with 12 minutes even left to go in this final frame from Newburgh. Russo able to work that puck up to the point. Mid-Hudson able to throw that on net. It was Latito with one save, then two, as that puck flutters all the way across the crease. And so it is the Stars trying to get that puck up and out. Mid-Hudson will dump in deeper once more. O'Day turns for the puck at the end boards. O'Day racks it off the end boards there. Mid-Hudson to retrieve far side of the ice. It's Russo in the way, though. He's able to send that up and out, and now Kocher chips it to himself. Kocher across for Bizarro. Bizarro retrieves it, sends it on net. That puck was bouncing on him. He did well to get the shot off. And now it's Mid-Hudson back in the other direction. Puck out to the neutral zone as Mid-Hudson will rack it in deeper once more. It's now the Stars trying to get that puck up and out. Rolls over to Kocher, and then Schaefer works it up to the point. And the point shot doesn't quite connect for the Polar Bears. They've got some time, though, and they work it just a bit deeper until Schaefer throws it up and out of the zone. He bodies his man in front of the Stars bench, and Mid-Hudson tries to get that puck back into the offensive end. It's a puck that's hit just about every skate on the ice at this point, and Mid-Hudson just sticks it into the offensive zone, and they can complete their change. 10:38 left to go in this game as O'Day sends that up and out into the neutral zone. Polar Bears will dump in once more. O'Day back to retrieve. He's got Schaefer at the side of the net, works it up toward Kocher, as Russo on the forecheck tries to retrieve there. It's a hit in the neutral zone by Adamek. He stops his man in his tracks, and the Stars look to take over through Bizarro in the defensive zone, but Mid-Hudson away with the puck toward the slot. It was settled by Schaefer, who threw it up to the near point, and then the ensuing shot saved by Latito and sent high and wide of the cage. This will be the Stars trying to come back in the other direction. Bizarro got hooked there, and the ensuing shot comes in. No call, though, on the hook. It was blink and you'll miss it, and so just a shot on goal for Mid-Hudson. 9:50 left to go here in the third period. It'll be a defensive zone draw for the Stars. That's a clean win by Gitman, but back to his netminder, and so we'll do it all over again with 9:48 left to go in this game. Puck dropped. Stars carry it behind their own net, and it'll be the Stars trying to get that out on the near side of the ice, unable to do so. And so Mid-Hudson throws that in. Latito with a save, and now it's Mid-Hudson at the far side of the ice. They'll shoot in once more. Latito gets up and makes that save. The ensuing shot goes toward the side of the net. It was Latito who was able to unbalance himself and make that close-in save. And so the Stars look to get something going in the other direction. It's now Mid-Hudson trying to pick it up in their own end as we play on here with 9 minutes even left to go. Stars will flick that in just to the side of the net, and it'll be the Polar Bears looking to get that puck up and out. They do. Turning for it in front of his own bench is Schulman. Schulman back. He gets the puck up and out of the zone. It's Adamek bodying a man far side of the ice. Works it over toward Gitman. Gitman long shot in. That one's going to be kicked aside by the Polar Bears netminder, and it's now Adamek on the forecheck. Stars nearly had picked off a pass. Instead, it's Schaefer who gets over and tries to chop that out of the zone. Shot comes in. Latito with a huge save. Remember that one if the Stars come back in this one. It was a mini break there for the Polar Bears. We'll show you the replay at the next stoppage in play. Now the Stars trying to get this puck up and out. It's Schaefer working it for O'Day. Mid-Hudson to collect at the end boards. Mid-Hudson, the one-timer doesn't connect because Russo had gotten in the way of the shot. He did very well. Mid-Hudson will just dump right back in. Schaefer to pick up. He works that up to the far point, and it does come out of the zone, does that puck. And so it'll be the Stars with just a moment to breathe as Mid-Hudson has to try and break in once more. Instead, it's Fauci on the forecheck. That rolling puck goes deep into the Mid-Hudson zone, and the Polar Bears look to get it up and out once more. It's Mid-Hudson all the way across their own zone. They'll turn around with it, trying to kill off as much of this game as they can with 7:35 left to go and a 3-goal lead. They're happy to find any open ice they can. Now they'll dump in, chip and chase for the Polar Bears as Mid-Hudson carries it to the near side of the ice, and then they cycle it deeper. It's Kocher firing on that puck. Far side, carries it out of the defensive zone. He's able to just throw his stick on it against the boards there as he gets pinned by 2 Polar Bears. It's Kocher on the puck. All players trying to dig that puck out. They do. It rolls to Polar Bear, and so it's O'Day pinching up to try and send the puck deeper in the offensive zone. Instead, the Polar Bears will stalk in. It's the Polar Bears on the prowl, now in the offensive end. And so it's Schaefer emerging with it all the way across the neutral zone. Schaefer with speed is able to throw that puck in. It's sticked up into the near corner, and onward we play. It never hit the netting, and here comes Mid-Hudson. It's a mini break for them. All the way in, they shoot, they score. Well, we'll show you the replay of the save with 6:33 left to go because it was such an impressive one from Luke Latito. In the end, the Polar Bears able to score just 2 minutes later. But it was a bouncing puck that Latito saved on what was a full-scale breakaway, and it was an impressive one at that. In the end, it is, we'll get that score right for you. It's the Polar Bears with the lead here. It's a 4-goal lead with 6:28 left to go in this third period. In the booth, shots 38-18 in the Polar Bears' favor. And we'll have to check the official score sheet after the game to see how close we were up in the booth to what the official scorer saw at the ice level. It's Adamick trying to work that puck up toward Gitman. He does. Gitman dumps on in. Turning now are the Polar Bears, and they'll work it to the near side of the defensive zone. Adamick and Bizarro on the forecheck. Polar Bears work that puck just a bit deeper, and now they'll send it up to the blue line, but coming on in was Schulman. He fires a shot on net, and that's sticked aside by the Polar Bears netminder. It's Mid-Hudson working it back to the near side of the ice. Polar Bears away with it, but Bizarro pushes his man over at that half wall, bouncing puck all the way across the blue line. It does escape the zone. Bizarro tries to pick it up once more, and it'll be Coronati instead. Coronati takes a late hit there, and the official was right next to it. No call, as he allowed Coronati to give it right back to the player who got him, and so probably a good non-call if both players get their licks in. It's now the Stars trying to get that puck from their blue line through the neutral zone. It's Kocher who gained the line, sends that puck all the way in, and now Russo bodies his man in the near corner, bouncing puck toward the side of the cage. Stars retrieve. It's Kocher working it up to the point, and that bouncing puck comes on out of the zone. Polar Bears wanted an interference call there. They're never going to get one with the puck so close. And given the way this game's been officiated, which is to say the officials really letting them play out there, unlikely to get the call. 4:49 left to go, though, after the icing by the Polar Bears. And so an offensive zone draw upcoming for the Stars, looking to score quickly and work themselves back into this game. Still 4 minutes and 49 seconds, plenty of time to get right back into this one. Stars tilting the ice in the last couple of minutes, and they'll look to see that ice tilt turn in to a rippling of the twine. It's Russo, far circle. Puck worked up to the blue line. It was Schaefer who came across to keep the zone. Briscoe able to tap in farther. Now Russo gives chase, as Mid-Hudson will try the far side of the ice. Soft pass connects. It's a 2-on-3 developing here for Mid-Hudson. Mid-Hudson in. They shoot. Goes toward the side of the cage off the side iron. And so the Stars able to retrieve. It's O'Day picking that puck up, skating through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Mid-Hudson has it there. They send it right back across the blue line. And now the Polar Bears try a long shot in. It's Latito able to glove that one down. But we play on because there was no Polar Bear near Latito. No whistle was going to be blown. It's now Schaefer taking a hit there. It looks like it's a delayed penalty on Mid-Hudson. The arm is raised, and it's Fauci trying to get that puck forward. But the delayed penalty does get whistled on a hooking call with 3:56 left to go. The Stars back to the power play. Down 4, but up a man for the next 2 on a hooking call against Mid-Hudson. Well, this will be Schulman, Russo, Coronati, Gitman, and Kocher as the 5 skaters in navy blue. Looks like it'll be Russo to take the drop. Wins it cleanly back to Kocher. Kocher up to Coronati. Coronati dumps on down for Russo. Russo to pick up at the end boards. He does. Rolling puck over to the near corner. Worked up to the near point. Stars dump in once more. It's the Polar Bears working that puck up and out of the zone eventually. And so back to cover is Sammy Schulman as this puck rolls all the way through the slot. And Latito able to cover it up there. And so we get a stoppage in play here with 3:31 left to go in the game. Still 1:35 left to go on the man advantage. Well, this will be Russo, far side of the ice, defensive zone. As he looks to win that over toward Kocher, he does. Kocher flicks that puck to himself, and a dead sprint. Kocher gets it back, throws it across for Gitman. Just a little too close to the net, and so here comes Mid-Hudson back in the other direction. Mid-Hudson on the penalty kill. Russo able to upend his man. This puck stays in the defensive zone of the Stars, though, and so it's Schulman across for Coronati. Coronati has that puck by his skate blades. It was a hit that nearly was coming on Coronati. He was able to avoid the hit and get possession of the puck to his teammates. Now it's Russo all the way across the neutral zone into the slot. Russo shoots there. Puck bounces just wide off a blocked shot. It's Mid-Hudson trying to body Gitman. Gitman able to cycle it deeper on over for Adamick, who cycled it deeper himself. Mid-Hudson away with it as the Stars making a change into the neutral zone. 42 seconds left to go on the man advantage as the puck sits in front of the Polar Bears bench. It's now Bizarro turning with it. Self-pass in the slot. Shoots in. That's blockered aside by the Polar Bears. Bizarro gets that puck back. Stalks around the net. And on the far side of the ice, surveys his options. Works the puck just a bit deeper into the offensive end, all the way across for O'Day. O'Day nearly able to step in and pull the trigger on it. Instead, it is Alec O'Day behind the net, throws it across, shot in, and that one was saved nicely once more by Mid-Hudson. Bizarro bodies a man, far side of the ice. Mid-Hudson, though, able to pick up that puck and send it all the way back to Fauci at the Stars' blue line. Stars making partial change. Fauci able to work that puck on up. He finds Bizarro there. It's Bizarro on the puck, throwing it across. Can't find a teammate. And Adamick able to cycle it in deeper. It was a deflected pass. Otherwise, the Stars might have been in for the first time today. 1:37 left to go in this game as Mid-Hudson looks to keep the clean sheet. And they send that puck up and out of the zone, so it's Schaefer to retrieve. Schaefer on the puck in his own end, sends it just past the blue line. Should be an offside on Mid-Hudson. It is. With 84 seconds left to go. I promise you, it doesn't look like it on your screen. But again, we've reached the part of the season where the buttons are truly cold and frozen. Puck's dropped. Mid-Hudson able to dump on into the offensive end, and Coronati to retrieve. Works it up strong side toward Russo, chips it farther for Briscoe, and then the rolling puck comes right back to the Stars, and then Mid-Hudson. Puck just ping-ponging around late in this game. The ice is chopped up. Kocher able to bat that up into the Stars bench with 1:05 left to go in the third. It should be a face-off. Well, just outside the Stars zone. Interesting. Kocher must have touched it on the proper side of the blue line in the official's eyes. This will be Russo to take. Wins that over toward Briscoe. Bouncing puck finds Briscoe once more. Briscoe for Russo. Russo at the logo. He's going to chip in and give a chase here. It's Briscoe trying to work that puck up to the near point as the long reach of Coronati prevents the zone break-in at first, but now it's Mid-Hudson into the offensive end. It's a bounce pass off the walls. They shoot in. Latino with a save, and now it will be the Stars coming in the other direction. They flick that up toward the rafters. Bouncing puck eventually settled nicely by Mid-Hudson. Russo to retrieve. He leaves the puck there for Kocher. Kocher will dump in deep. 25 seconds left to go in this game, and it's Mid-Hudson behind their own net. Just trying to kill it off now are the Polar Bears as they send it through the neutral zone. It was Bizarro on the forecheck, and then Schaefer gets upended, but he was able to cut out the zone break-in. Mid-Hudson dumps in once more. It's Coronati tracking back for the puck. He's got it there behind his own net. He's going to just see out the rest of this game as he releases the puck. And so that'll do it here from Newburgh. They've gone final. It is the Mid-Hudson Polar Bears 4, the New York Stars 0. Thanks so much for joining us right here on Midnight Sports. We'll see you again next weekend when the Stars are back home taking on the Long Island Edge. Until then, stay safe.